7 critical KPIs every CTO must track to stay ahead of tech disruption. You're probably thinking, I've got KPIs in place. We measure our uptime, our project timelines, our team's productivity. Why do I need more metrics to track? I get it, your plate's full, but let me ask you this. Are the KPIs you're using actually helping you stay ahead of the curve? Are they just telling you what's already happened? That's the difference between thriving in a disruptive tech landscape and just surviving. The world doesn't wait for anyone, and you're relying on outdated metrics. You're in for a rude awakening. Your competitors, those who are tracking the right KPIs, are positioning themselves to outpace you. If you don't have a CTO who understands how to track and act on these KPIs, you're already behind. Painful, right? I've been in tech for over 50 years, and I've seen the rise and fall of entire industries based on how well they measure and respond to disruption. In my 20s, I made my first million designing software that was instrumental in building projects like the Fresno Dam, the John Wayne Airport. Later, I led an international team that built the world's first fully autonomous robotic machine control system. Talk about disruption. But none of that happened by chance. It happened because I was relentless about tracking the right data, using the right KPIs, and adapting before anyone else could see the wave coming. Let's get emotional for a second. You know how frustrating it is when you're blindsided by a new competitor, a shift in the market, or a piece of tech that completely rewrites the rules? That gut-wrenching feeling when you realize you've been so focused on keeping the lights on that you've missed the opportunity to innovate? That's what happens when your KPIs are failing you. You're tracking numbers that keep the ship afloat, but you're missing the ones that chart the course to the future. Here's the cold, hard truth. It's not enough for your CTO to track performance metrics or to measure development speed. The best CTOs are watching for signals that indicate disruption. They're tracking KPIs that aren't just about efficiency, they're about evolution. The tech landscape moves fast, and the right KPIs can mean the difference between your company staying relevant or being left in the dust. Now, let's get logical. What should you be tracking to stay ahead? Here are the 7 critical KPIs every forward-thinking CTO needs to monitor. Time to market. How quickly can your team move from idea to product? In a disruptive environment, speed is everything. Companies that can't push innovations quickly get eaten alive by agile competitors. Innovation pipeline. This goes beyond R&D. It's about measuring the health of your ideas. How many of your team's ideas make it to the prototype stage? And more importantly, how many are actually getting greenlit for production? Number 3, customer retention rate. Disruption often comes from, how well you're listening to your customers. Are they happy? Are they engaging with your product in new ways? Are you solving their evolving problems before they even realize they have them? Number 4, technical debt. It's easy to ignore, but over time, the debt becomes an anchor. A CTO tracking this properly is setting up their team to move fast, innovate, and scale without being dragged down by their legacy code. Number 5, security breaches. In an age where data is everything, you need to know not just how often you've been attacked, but how quickly you can respond and how well your systems stand up. A single breach could ruin your company's reputation. Number 6, scalability metrics. Can your infrastructure grow without breaking? If your system isn't built to scale seamlessly, you're setting yourself up for failure as demand grows or when new opportunities arise. Number 7, the tech stack evolution. This is about staying lean and mean. How frequently are you upgrading your tech stack? A CTO worth their salt knows that relying on outdated tools is like fighting a battle with a dull sword. Are you staying current or are you falling behind? Real world example, I'll give you one. When I worked for Thermo Electron, we were entering a phase of rapid technological advancement. I was tasked with leading the R&D and marketing for Spectral Precision software. Now, we could have just measured our market performance and called it a day, but we went deeper. I insisted we track how fast we were implementing new technologies into our product line compared to our competitors. This KPI allowed us to stay light years ahead, and we dominated the market because of it. When I led a team at the global PR firm, our competitors were still obsessing over traditional engagement metrics, But I knew disruption was coming from the world of AI and data analytics. We tracked how quickly we could integrate machine learning into our client campaigns. And guess what? That early adoption helped us secure contracts with the likes of Microsoft and Apple. It wasn't about following trends, it was about creating them. Building authority, let's talk about it. I've spent decades watching businesses crumble because they weren't tracking the right metrics. It's why Computer World named me a Premier 100 IT leader in 2002. And it's why my company was named the Next Gen 250 company by CRN magazine. I've built over a dozen companies and I know what makes them tick or fail. So to recap, if you're not tracking KPIs that help you innovate, pivot, and disrupt, you're simply managing the status quo. And in this fast-moving tech landscape, the status quo is a death sentence. You need a CTO who doesn't just manage tech, but who measures the right things, drives innovation, and positions your company for the future. Ready to stop falling behind and start staying ahead of the curve? It's time to rethink how you're measuring success. Visit igloodigitalmarketing.com to book a free audit call. Let's make sure your CTO is tracking the KPIs that will keep your company not just alive, but thriving.